Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. Recording. All right. Welcome to another episode of the Craig Mack Chasing Success show. On the screen right now is a Chicago high school basketball legend. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mike Hampton from the championship team, the Mendel Monarchs championship team from 1982. Mike, how you doing, man?
I am doing awesome.
Good,
Just
good.
awesome, awesome. And I
Yeah,
can
let
tell you
me.
why. I can tell you why.
Why?
Because I took care of myself today.
Okay.
I did some things for myself, which I try to do every day, which puts me in the right mindset, physically, spiritually, and everything else.
Oh, awesome.
Hmm.
All right. So, what I got up on the screen here, does that look familiar to you?
Ha! Yes, sir. Yes,
Ladies and gentlemen,
sir.
this is a picture, a photo from 1982 of the Mendel Monarchs basketball team. And
Mm.
right back here is Mike Hampton. And then
This is awesome.
right here was a beast.
That's right.
That's
That's right.
yours truly, Craig Mack, the beast on the team. Okay.
Yes, yes, absolutely,
I just wanted
absolutely.
to put
Rock
that up
on.
right quick, man.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think made our team successful, Mike?
Man, first of all, I want to start by saying thank you for this opportunity
Okay.
to share myself with whomever will listen.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, man, that's where I'm at now is just trying to say something that's going to change somebody's direction in a positive way.
That's exactly what I'm after.
Yes, that's been my lesson the
Okay.
whole time.
All right.
So what was special about our team was I believe that even though we had internal things going on in our team, we man, I enjoy being in the company of you guys.
Mm.
And part of that was being being in the institution that we were in.
Mm-hmm.
It fostered something unique as far as a male bonding,
Mm-hmm.
because there wasn't any women around,
Right.
and it was absolutely it was, I don't know what to say, it was challenging
Mm.
to me. That's what kept me coming back in there. I mean, when I first thought about going there, I was like, I really don't want to go to school with a bunch of guys.
Right.
And my mom talked me into going, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. And I met some of the most tremendous souls that I've ever met in my life.
Mm.
I felt absolutely, I felt comfortable there, but I also felt nurtured and challenged
Mm-hmm.
and not coddled. Sometimes I was, but for the most part, the peers didn't allow that. It was very challenging. They're like, man, what you gonna do? Like, there was questions asked about what we were doing,
Mm-hmm.
and how we conducted ourselves on the court. So you couldn't really get away with like relaxing. After a while, I was expecting us to do exactly what we did.
Mm. Okay.
That was how I prepared. I really
Right.
didn't like losing to anyone, and not even that, but just I think the most fun I ever had was our freshman year.
Mm.
That group of gentlemen there, that was probably some of the most talented, just physical people I've ever been around ever. There was some
Wow.
people. That's how I felt about, like I felt exposed.
Right. Well, I remember our freshman year, man. We played a game, a freshman game,
Hmm.
and you got a steal, and you went down the court and you dunked the ball, and everybody's mouth fell open. Like, man, he's a freshman. Right after
Yeah.
that, Coach Flaherty moved you up to varsity. So
Hmm.
we were
Hmm.
like, okay.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
agree, man. that was a special team, and I think the thing that one of the things from my perspective that made us successful was that you, not you, but we all settled
Yes.
into our roles on the
Yes.
team. I mean, you and Andre were the shooters, the scorers, and I was about defense and rebounding. And I
Hmm.
think that once, and then when you guys were getting double teamed or whatever, then that's when I would step up and start scoring and to
Hmm.
balance things out. And I think that a lot of teams didn't expect that. As you know, we weren't supposed to make it to the state finals. They were like, well,
Hmm.
who is this little Mendel Catholic school
Hmm.
group
Hmm.
of guys? Where they
Hmm.
come from? So that whole thing was magical. And until this day, man, people in Chicago still talk about that team and mention that
Yes.
team.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's cool. So
Hmm.
Mike, let's get into it, man. So describe for me how your life changed after you graduated from Mendel.
Two things happened. One, when I did not qualify to go to a Division I school, something happened. You know what I mean? Not and not in a positive way because I really didn't fully accept, all of the internal responsibility for that, for me not being able, for me not studying and getting good grades.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was my fault that I had to go to Iowa to go to junior college.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out there with this very negative, pessimistic, BS. I don't say it what it is. BITCH attitude. Like
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even didn't even look at it as a blessing. You going to school for free, ding dong. Even if it is a junior college, go there and do something instead of going there pouting, which I
Mm-hmm.
didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't work on. And I'll say this, going to junior college showed me that I was a guard,
Mm-hmm.
and not being able to handle the ball and face the basket was a very rude awakening.
Mm-hmm.
It put what I did on the court in such a constricted way that I
Mm-hmm.
was, the way they handle the ball now, the way they facilitate and do a lot of one-on-one things on the court now was just an illusion in my head. It
Mm-hmm.
was uncomfortable was the word.
Mm-hmm.
So for those first 2 years of junior college, I just got used to just doing basic dribble the ball and shoot,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt really foreign. And so I basically acted out. I mean, let's say I played okay, but after my sophomore year, I was basically had to go something, basically do what they do now, go to the portal. But I just start calling coaches, and I called a coach out at Howard University in DC, and say, hey man, I would like to come out there for a visit. He had heard of me, but he really hadn't seen it. It wasn't any internet, YouTube or no videos, and he just could just say, come out here, and like we went to the gym and brought the team over there, and we just started playing
Mm-hmm.
like on the court, just to see if I had any kind of basketball IQ or any
Mm-hmm.
type of did I know what the hell I was doing out there. And also, he saw something, and ended up in DC, and
Okay.
that was another. If you can't get any more polar opposite than that, coming from Iowa in the middle of a small town to Washington D.C., Northeast Washington D.C. in 1984.
Mm.
You're talking about um I don't even know really what word to describe it. I just DC blew me away, man. DC it was so fast and so just everybody was doing something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got out there on the team. I was respectable, but I still hadn't fully given my full attention to a few key things, which was school and working out and being my best self. I was
Mm-hmm.
doing I was doing other ridiculous, doing social things that did not have anything to do with a mature human being. But I was part time. I was halfway into that life and halfway into trying to be a good basketball player, but it didn't that doesn't work. I found out, fencing, being on the fence. And at the end of the 2 years there, that began a trajectory that began something, not immediately, but when I was in Washington DC and I hadn't really had this, outlet and the structure of my life of being on a team, of being in school, and I was working there. I had a very rude awakening, man. I knew that I wasn't mentally prepared because I had no direction and I was feeling sorry for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went out a lot, and sampled some, drinking and marijuana and a few other things. So it wasn't an issue for a little while.
For a little while.
For a little
But
while.
but then it became an issue, right?
Yep. Then I tried crack cocaine
Okay.
and I loved it. I
Mm.
absolutely it gave me a sensation and it filled a void that I was looking for. I felt this, I was looking for happiness. I was looking for, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
really what to say. And that stuff made me feel super, I guess, I don't know, it detached me. It detached me
Mm-hmm.
from reality.
Right. Okay. And so,
I allowed it to do that. I'm sorry. It didn't do it to me. I allowed that to happen. I sampled that.
yeah, what I love about you right now, man, is that how you're taking full responsibility
Hmm.
for it. You're not blaming someone else. You're not blaming your parents. You're not blaming anybody. You're taking full responsibility, and I love that. Now, to me, that's important because at the end of the day, we are accountable for the decisions that we make. It's our decisions, and we need to own it. And that's why I always, continue to hammer away with people that every decision you make is important. Every decision you make. So,
Yes.
so Mike, where, what, when did you hit rock bottom?
You know what? Honestly, many times.
Many times. Okay.
Many times. Yeah, many times that I got to a point where I was dependent
Mm-hmm.
on treatment facilities,
Mm-hmm.
on prison,
Mm-hmm.
I had to be
Well,
detained.
describe what prison was like for you.
When I first went to County Jail,
Mm-hmm.
on like it was basically a snatch and grab case, robbery case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the north side. And I went to Cook County Jail,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a whole nother, like it was, I don't really I was scared, okay,
Mm-hmm.
because of you could the tension was it was just you couldn't escape it.
Mm-hmm.
The aura of it, the how the atmosphere of jail is the most sensitive place you'll ever be in your life because proximity wise, you're never going to be this close to that many human beings except for at a football game
Mm-hmm.
or a sporting event. But you live there with them. You coexist every day with these folks.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about some people that had done some pretty wild things because they didn't have time to really, classify everybody as being minimum. You
Mm-hmm.
a person that did somebody with a speeding ticket might be in there with a straight up, somebody from a gang or,
Mm-hmm.
or some other person who really did something that they're never getting out of there for, and
Right.
they don't have this and you act accordingly. There's a
Right.
just like I adapted to going to Mendel.
Mm-hmm.
I wore the clothes. I did everything everybody else did to be there. It's the same, basically just a locked up version of an all boys school.
Mm.
But the difference is the stakes are different.
Mm-hmm.
The aggressive, the testosterone
Mm-hmm.
it blew me away, man, because it was very combative in there. It was one word could change your whole life.
Right.
One wrong look, one wrong sentence. So I'll say to describe what I went through there was a rude awakening that,
Mm-hmm.
that I am, this is not, I'm not designed for this. Even though I did something to go in there, I wasn't trying to fight nobody.
Right. Now, you said when you started that out, you said that that was the first time.
Yes.
So, so
Like I said, I had many, many. I guess you could call them bottoms. I had many, discoveries that,
Right.
but it took them to put the handcuffs on me to actually slow down and stop and think about it. I wasn't doing that on my own.
Right. So okay, so let's talk about the last time you went to jail, and
Mhm, mhm.
what something or someone had to turn you around or motivate you to stop. And when did that take place?
But when I got out the last time in 2005,
Mm-hmm.
I had been there almost 4 years that time. That was the
Mm-hmm.
third time.
Okay.
And I went to trade school in there, barber school, got my barber's license. But in the meantime, while I was in there, what I did, I mean, in prison, I would say this: I learned, how to be, how to deal with life with not with the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Like it showed me what I needed to do on my own to
Mm-hmm.
have a successful recovery,
Okay.
which was to be in a position where I'm putting myself in a self disciplined position like I do now. Like my life now is pretty predictable,
Mm.
and I don't do anything outside of you know golfing. I went to the gym today. My job, go cut. I still cut hair on the side, and
Okay.
if I don't have if I don't have a a destination, then I just go home. And
Mm-hmm.
that was something that I
So
did do.
you
So
you're a truck driver now?
yeah, I drive a garbage truck.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And so when you got out, how tough was it for you to find a job? Because you had to check
it
the
wasn't
box
hard.
on the applications now, right?
Yep, yep. It wasn't hard, Craig. Because um, I always believed that. I really didn't care what the first job was. I didn't care. Like I've had jobs making $11 an hour, $12 an hour, just to involved in some kind of predictable time frame during the daytime. So I mean, I'll say this: that no, it wasn't hard because you tell us, some people aren't. I'm not going to be in any banking or any type of financial institution, but it's there's plenty of people that they need people that are, I guess, experienced and just showing up every day
Right.
and doing what they're supposed to do, and not arguing, just working and being grateful. And
There you
so no,
go.
I would say no. I wouldn't. I would say that most people that get out of prison, um, or anyone who doesn't really want to make it or can't make it here to me in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're just lazy.
Mm. Okay.
And
So
I'm not, and that's just my opinion.
sure.
So I'm not, knocking folks, but I'm saying that there are people that walk for 4 or 5 months just to get here with nothing
Right.
to start their lives. And we get to be here, even though whatever circumstances it is, we get to be here and exist in a United States that may not be the best situation all the time, but I'm grateful for it. My life is I thought I've had a very comfortable life.
Mm-hmm. So Mike, are you married?
No, but I'm gonna ask my girlfriend when we go to my mom's house in May to go to marry me.
Wait a minute. I don't want to spoil it for you, man, because we in April and she might see this.
we're going we're going next month from the 11th through the 18th.
Okay. All
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Well, don't tell her about this video then before then,
She
man.
got, you know what? She gonna be looking for it. I shouldn't have said that. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't
Oh,
thinking,
that's okay.
but I'm excited. I'll say this now that you asked that. That is another area of my life that I felt that, recently that I'm prepared to be a person that can be counted on
Mm-hmm.
consistently
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to hurt anybody.
Right. Right.
I don't want to hurt her. I regret that so much, man. My parents and other people in my life. Man, I just wanna contribute.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man. That is, I am so proud of you. And like I told you when we first, reconnected last week, man, you are a success story. Okay. Don't ever let
Mhm.
anybody take that away from you. You are a success story. And, when I
Mhm.
started this podcast out and named it Craig Max Chasing Success, a lot of people thought it's about, being in business or
Mhm.
how to make a whole
Mhm.
bunch of money and all that. But to
Mhm.
me, it's more than that. Success is the journey that you take to get to a goal. It doesn't have to necessarily be about money or business. It can be just about being a better person, a better human being, a better father, a better son. So let me ask you this. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
One brother.
One brother? Okay, is he
Yep,
older
one
or
brother
younger?
said he's 11 months younger.
11 months younger. Okay. All
Mhm.
right. Because the other thing about this, and I'm not sure if you and your wife are still, plan on having kids or not, or adopting or whatever, but
Mhm.
the other part of this, the reason why I wanted to do this is to put this out here for other generations in your family to, if they don't get the chance to talk to you or meet with you, that there'll be something out there that they can go to find out who you were and
Mhm.
know your story and you can tell your story in your own words. And that's what the core of this is about, is being able
Mhm.
to put you in a position where generations of your family can get to know you down the line.
Yes. Yes, for
Okay?
sure. Mhm.
All right. My man. So, okay. So what's next for you, Mike? I mean, you're already talking about you and your girls. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Um, I really want to. I want to get into some investment properties.
Okay.
And do just try to build something.
Okay.
It's something that I can give passed down. That I
Okay.
can I take care of somebody else possibly that other people around my family because Rachel and her daughter Justina, they're my family now.
All right. Is that your girlfriend?
Yes.
And she has a daughter.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So like I said, this is something that, later on she can relate to or be able to watch. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
cool. Cool,
thank you
cool,
so
cool.
much. Thank you,
No,
brother.
man. Hey, thank you for being with,
You know.
trusting me with telling your story and
Mhm.
putting it out there for you. Um, and I'll be in touch. But thanks again, Mike, for taking the time to tell me your story and
Mhm.
sharing, opening it up to share with me and the
Mhm.
audience. And I wish you the best of luck
Mhm.
with your family, and God bless you, man.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, and I appreciate you.
All right.
All right.
Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and close this episode of Craig Max Chasing Success. We'll close this episode of Craig Max Chasing Success, and thank you again, Mike. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you.